for action.
Right, good morning race fans. We're at the final round of the AJP Prestige Vets. I'm very surprised that they're able to run this weekend. We've had horrendous weather the last few weeks. I mean, floods everywhere and just torrential rain of a biblical scale. Been terrible. Anyway, we're here. Now, initially, it looked like it was just going to be 7 rounds of the planned 10. And they did. This championship works. There's 10 rounds to run, and your best 8 rounds count dropping 2. But anyway, this is going to be round 8, but they've still dropped 2 rounds. Now, I was leading pretty much all the way from round 2, and I did throw my dummy out the pram and have a bit of a sulk, and was still sulking till this weekend because yes. I miraculously went from the lead down into 3rd place. I haven't even bothered to look at where the points were, because I was at work when on nights doing a job when I got the message that I'd dropped down to 3rd, so I didn't even bother. I did have a bit of a Paddy, as Mrs. Minihane says. So anyway, and I wasn't even going to ride this. The bike's a bit mucky still from Boriston. I wasn't even going to ride, but they were low on numbers, so I've come to support it because we're off to sunny Spain. Another 2 weeks time. So with the other bikes, it'll just be dust and sunshine that I've got to endure for the next 4 months. Anyway, the club have done a brilliant job of the track. They've done a fair bit of work, so it's certainly looking rideable. We'll see how we get on. What else is doing? Like yesterday, we went to a Halloween night at Bliss Hill. So another reason I haven't done a lot to the bike, because I had to pick the bike up after work.
We've been a bit busy.
It's been a bit manic. And then the other week was at the Motocross and Nations, which was epic. I'm also using the DJ Osmo Pro 5 camera. Sam's mainly going to be using this for vlogging. If the track conditions aren't too bad, I might take it out to see how it handles the onboard footage. So far, from what I've seen, we did a little bit of testing of the crowds and stuff at Mattersley Basin, and it looks good. I'm happy with the picture, and looking at the colours now as well in the monitor, so pretty okay with that so far. Anyway, that's enough of that waffle. Let's get on with the day.
A few inches later.
How do I zoom in?
It's quite jerky when you zoom in. I'll show you in a bit.
I thought it was just a 2-finger on the screen, Jobber. No.
Anyway.
So, Mr. Minihane has got me up bright and early again, Sunday morning. At least the sun is shining, hence the cap, because the sun is so bloody low, can't see a thing. Suffering with a little bit of a chest infection, but as it's the last event of the season before we head off into Spain, could not miss this one at all.
It's dragging you out from your deathbed.
From my deathbed, yes. However, I am not quite so deathly as I was a couple of weeks ago, but fairly apt for this time of year with Halloween and all that shizzle. Anyway, Mr. Minihane is now getting changed in the dampness and the dew, but with the sunshine. is straight out after the first race to the practice session. Can't see where he is. Ah, he's coming. Okay.
12 seconds later.
So we did practice, and the track was pretty good actually in practice. Pretty pleased. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because it had some rain here last night. Then went into, they had the Dave Livesey parade lap. Oh, actually I did my practice, and then I'm doing the practice class as well, so I just did, and that was straight after, so I did another 2 laps in that. Then we did the Dave Livesey Memorial lap, so I've done a fair bit of riding before we did the first race. Down to the line for the first race, got pinched off the gate, rubbish, absolutely rubbish start. Anyway, 5th from the back according to Sam. Then pulled up for a bit, but I just couldn't gel with the track. I've got to admit, I haven't ridden that much. We did since the beginning of August. I think I've done 3 meetings. It's the end of October now because the weather's been so bad. We did a couple of festivals in August, so I'm one of them ones that does need to ride quite a bit really, so I am struggling today, so it's not there. So championship, although I spat my dummy out, everybody's riding better than me, so they deserve it this weekend, because I'm not putting the pace in this weekend. Anyway, 2 more races to go. Whether I'll do any more practicing, I'm not too sure. Mrs. Miniane will be keeping an eye on me.
I will be, and I've already suggested we don't do any more practices.
Yeah, because it is a fair bit on the old body today. Anyway, 2 races to go, and maybe 1 or 2 laps of practice.
Yes, indeed.
Few moments later.
we have done race 2. Because I was so disgusted with myself in the race 1. Got a good drive out the gate, didn't get pinched off this time, and had a cracking start. 4th or 5th round the first turn, and leading my class. The track obviously had a lot of ruts out there, but I was happy with my riding. My arms pumped up quite a bit because obviously we haven't done a lot of riding just of late due to the weather and cancellations. And then I think I've ridden twice. It's 27th of October now. I've done 3 races since the beginning of August. That's the only times I've ridden. So my arms are just pumping around mad. But I thought we'd had 2nd overall, but it turns out we had third in that race. So 1 more to go. See how we get on. The ground is super tacky, but and my fork seals have gone in that race. I was suddenly coming down, landing. There's a small little double over there, and I could really feel it through my arms, and I thought it was just me, or maybe my suspension settings would come in. And there's a lot of oil, so fork seals have gone. But we've only got 1 race to do, so let's just grin and bear it, get through it.
Eventually.
There you go, and you get 1 of them and a tin of whatever you want.
I'm going to try it right now. We're going to try. Second overall was Paul Hughes. 795.
Well done, mate. Have one for the Mr. Varley.
So, our wrap for the final meeting of 2024 and the final round of the AJP Prestige Vets Championship. And fair play to the club for running and having the nuts to run it this week, because the weather running up to this event has been atrocious, and Boriston is notoriously a clay track, so very, very difficult. Anyway, the club have done a fantastic job prepping the track, and it did rain on Saturday night apparently at 1 o'clock in the morning, but after practice the track was super grippy and really, really good fun. They took one of the big hills out, but it gave some really, really good racing. My first race, as I said earlier, I had a 5th, didn't really get my act together in the first one, got pinched off the gate, blah blah blah. I didn't put a good lap time in, so I was a bit disgusted with myself. Went for the second race, as I said, cracking start. Was leading the over 50s for a little while, and then my arms pumped up. My forks started, the seals went during the second, so it was getting harsh on the landings of some of the jumps and the bumps. Thought I'd get away with it for the third race. Anyway, I literally went down to the line with the third race, and I'd got pretty much no front suspension. The front end wasn't moving much at all, which was quite concerning. Gate dropped, another good drive out the gate. Where was I, Mrs. Miniane? Off the into the first turn.
Off the gate. I don't know exactly where you were, but it was a start brilliant.
Up the sharp pointy points bits to the field, so I was happy with that. But obviously I'd got very little front suspension. It was an absolute nightmare. The oil was pouring out of the forks. Then a rider fell in front of me, and I probably do apologise. I probably shouted at him a little bit more than was needed, because he just lay there in the ruts in front of me, and that cost me 3rd overall on the day. John Harper went past me. I would have been on for a trophy for the day. But then we got to the overall for the championship, and I know I did split my dummy out because they dropped the 2 rounds, and we've only done 8 instead of 10 rounds of the championship. But did still beat one of the other riders today. Fair play to Paul Hughes, he's ridden brilliantly the last few rounds. But I still ended up finishing 3rd. So it is what it is. But personally, down to me to pull my finger out of my bottom and nearly going off the road and down a perilous cliff there.
We did have right of way.
Yes, we did have right of way, but the Mini was trying to force her way through. Anyway, so it is what it is. Finished 3rd overall. Big thank you to the club for running and AJP for the sponsorship. I picked up some bike cleaner and some WD-40 and another plaque. 3rd overall. So, and as I say, fair play for him to even think about running this weekend, because a wise man wouldn't bet on it running, but it ran very well. And it's been they've had I think every club in the UK has had the weather against them this year. One of the wettest summers for 100 years or something rubbish like that, I believe. And so we've had meetings cancelled, mud baths, which is like, considering I only prefer to ride dry, sunny, fast tracks, I suppose I should be happy with 3rd, because not one track this year suited me, I don't think. So anyway, onwards and upwards. We're off to Spain. I'm going to be in the gym. We're going to be riding lots, and hopefully a better year next year. Unfortunately, I will be older. I'll be 59. Dun dun dun. Anyway, Mrs. Miniane, it's goodbye from me.
And just a little note from myself, because Paul normally does all the everybody that has come up and spoken to me at the race trackside all this year, and all the positive comments that I've had from our vlog. It's been really, really, really well appreciated and taken from me. So onwards and upwards for next year. A lot of training is going to be being had whilst we're out in Spain, and a lot of good eating. When I say good eating, I mean from a dietary point of view.
Yes.
Not a stodgy point of view.
I'm on a health kick now. I've done well. I'd gone up to 15 stone 1, which was like, I've never been that, not even close to that, and I've lost 8 or 9 pounds now towards the end of the year. Got
So we're going to keep working on that.
Yes.
And Paul's going to be back. Yes, maybe
skinny mini,
technically another year older, but
slimmer.
a little bit more healthy maybe next
That's
year.
the plan. Anyway, but as Sam says, and we do like reading your comments on the YouTube channel as well, and we really do appreciate it. And having said that, if you've enjoyed our videos this year and you haven't subscribed yet, we'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. Just helps us with the algorithms and the searches and the like. Smash that like button, please. And we'll be doing some videos from Spain. Obviously we'll be out there, so you can carry we'll have our adventures out there, and then we'll be back into the 2025 season. So it's goodbye from me,
and it's goodbye from me.